it's a bit long, but it is so worth it, I promise.
It's like 5 hours long. But
No, it's
got you. Alright, hi.
Hi.
Hi. Hey.
My name is
Rapple, right?
and this is my survival pole, but it's spiritual, so it's about God. And I love God. Ready?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Do you want me to move up more?
So like, this is my story, and I'm gonna perform it. Yeah.
Like,
3, 2,
like
1.
now?
Welcome to the new world. Old one faded away. Today's the day. Jesus talk. I don't know what to say. Okay. Walked over with a lump in my throat. My speech ready. In my pocket got a lock all the negative energy. Cause I can't let myself and my thoughts get ahead of me. I'm just talking about the most powerful entity. At this point, I don't know my own identity. Walked up the street. Others I greeted. Will I succeed or study and repeat? Deleted. Crumpled up the paper and I threw it in the trash place. Oh! That's a waste. Get it? Because the paper's in the trash and I cannot replace it. Got my mind cycling through these rhymes. Can't focus. It's hocus pocus. Saying I don't know this, but I know this. I don't know this. I'm getting up on stage in about 15 minutes. Okay. Stop rhyming. It's a waste of my time. And I should stop immediately. Relax. Calm down. That was pretty hard to do when I looked around. Head count, counted head, about 10,000 maybe, and all of them look dead inside, not alive. Me and you are not alike. Can't put crime and hate aside. Goodness, it needs pesticides, cause it's bugging people out on the inside. Now it's time to set the stage and also get on stage. Walked up the stairs with confidence and a smile on my face. Today we celebrate Christmas, and many of you have different interpretations of it. Some of you don't even celebrate it, while others only do it for the presents. But for me, I'm not down for the presence of God. You're supposed to laugh now. A bunch of men started to get up and leave, walking away slow clap. I heard that joke before, you're a fraud, said an old lady. One of the men had a wrecked tomato in his hand and tried to throw it. Take this, church guy. I dodged it, you know. That's pretty cool. I hadn't even finished my speech yet. He missed. Instead of hitting me, he hit the mayor, right in the face. The security guards came out of the shadows and fired their guns in the air. All this happened while I was in stage, because I'm a funny dude, sort of. Now I was freaking out. Why, just why? Oh, they didn't like my speech. They thought it was a reach, but I was trying to preach. But they wanted to teach me a lesson. Lord, forgive their transgressions. I want to go to heaven, not be part of your testing. I don't want to be an experimental test that you are just because you're bored. I got a life to listen to achieve and just for your information, I'm an Asian ingredient and leaving friends. Okay, attempt number 2. I don't want to be an experimental test that you are just because you're bored. I got a life to live, things to achieve, and just for your information, I'm an Asian ingredient living freely on this planet. Please don't plan it just to be one of your freebies. Oh, believe me. I'm just extra
He's
now
not
starting to
finished.
feel like E.T. Get it? Extraterrestrial.
Oh.
And that's what I can get if this project's not DOA. E.T. Extra time.
Oh. The moment you realize.
Just breathe. My phone's ringing in these jeans. But they're sweats. World at war and not peace. Trying to go home, but I lost my keys. Guess who showed up? The police. Snapped out of it. 2 officers were barreling toward us. Some men were trying to run away. Hey, you, stop right there. Where am I?
Right there.
Thanks. One of the men started cursing at the officers. I've had enough of this. Fill in the blank. They're pretty speedy, like they've done this before. Meanwhile, everyone else was watching in amazement. It was like a dog trying to chase its own tail. Over the fence, under the trees, past the leaves and on the road to freedom. Or so they thought. That's not funny.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. The cop jumped in front of them at the perfect time. More profanity was yelled. The rest of the crowd started to applaud. I'm really proud of that. Okay. I was still searching for my keys. Where could have they gone? Probably lost it on the way here. I started frantically searching for my keys wherever I went. Every 2 steps I looked around, just to make sure. I thought I would never find it, never come back home. I thought all hope was lost. Is this what you're looking for? A boy said to me. I turned around, completely puzzled. Oh, it's you. Mister, he said again. I saw what he was holding up. It blessed me to pieces. I thanked him, and he walked away with a smug look on his face. Today was a weird day. The rest of the evening was ordinary as I went to sleep unscathed. Big words. Bah, bah, bah. I woke up instantly to see what's going on. I grabbed my clock. 3:07 a.m. was displayed. I grabbed my flashlight and started to head downstairs. Hello? Anybody here? No response. It was probably just a raccoon or something, I thought to myself. I headed up the stairs and thought nothing of it. Boy, was I wrong. After only reaching about halfway, I heard multiple footsteps gather around me like a surround sound. Someone started screaming in a foreign language. A bag went over my head and I started to panic. Where are you guys taking me? I responded. They all chuckled. Shut up, useless American, one responded. But I was Canadian. Okay. I found myself get thrown in a van and hit my head on the wall. The tire started to screech. I had just been kidnapped. This was a real deal. Not something to joke about. The bruise on my head was as big as a coconut. They treated me like I was some litter box. They threw the key away, was hung inside of the van, and it was locked up by padlock. A lot of talk, lots of conversation. Was I kidnapped just because of my nation? Or my relationship to Jesus? Well, the case of court, then I'm guilty. Going to heaven, I know that's the real me. Many possible other reasons. Was it because I said Jesus is the reason for this season? Well, now I'm leaving this earth. I finally knew my worth. Placed here because he's the best, even at my worst. That's pretty cool. The van came to a screeching halt. It got stopped so fast like a lightning bolt. The doors opened and I could see some light, even though the bag covered my eyes. I took it off, and now I realized what was happening. I also noticed that my hands were tied up. An Arab walked up to me. You were the one who said the speech, right? It was a thick accent. Maybe he was Egyptian. Which one? I replied. The others started to get their weapons ready to fire, but the man stopped them. He was probably the leader. Foolish boy, when will you learn? He said. The men took me by the arm and dragged me into this abandoned depot. The others were trailing behind with a cautious look on each of their faces. Empty. I felt empty inside. With no one to fill my cup, how will I survive? Lonely, with other emotions. Should I fight back and cause a commotion? The process wasn't smooth, like lotion is. I felt like I was drowning with an ocean with my past. How to turn on this bad? Last day, my last supper. Soak the energy just like rubber. It was my last supper, but without the words. Yesterday, I should have called my mother. Say sorry to enemies, donate to charity, get rid of my jealousy, but this was the penalty. Left behind a good legacy. Now my clothes were covered in mud. Inside the bag was sweaty, and my face covered in blood. They threw me on the chair and I heard a thud. Freedom of religion, but here I was being judged. The man took the bag off my head, then untied the rope. I could feel all the sweat dripping down my face along with the blood. Where is your God now? One of the henchmen said. The rest of them started to shoot at me, missing entirely just to scare me. Now alongside the sweat and blood were tears. Do you denounce your God? The man shouted. I was quiet for a few minutes. He pointed a gun at me and said it again. No, I only answered. You'll regret that. The rest of them weren't laughing anymore. I started to pray, muttering quietly under my breath. I still believe in you, even after all of this. It's been a tough life, but through the ups and downs, you are my God. No one else can compare. The Alpha and Omega, the beginning and end. Hallelujah. Praise be to you. I love you with all my heart. Amen. I opened my eyes to see all of them looking at me. Any last words? The man said. The atmosphere was like gloomy clouds, getting darker and darker every passing second, which seemed like this. Finally, I spoke up. Why do you do this to me? Does it make you feel better? Because all this stuff I can sum up in one letter. C. I'm praying for you. Get it? C. C. Fine. Each and every one of you. What you're doing is nasty like turtle soup. That's my opinion and I'm entitled. Does this thing you're doing make you feel revitalized? Are you energized? Do you realize? What you're doing right now hurts me inside. It hurts a lot. But God can make things better. What I said yesterday was true. That's why it's called Christmas. My family wants me alive. It's on their wish list. I wish for you to make the decision. Your worth words hurt like a knife with a sharp incision. Cut it out. What's it about? Think you're cool while you don't got clout. I stopped for a second. That was a weird thing to say in this situation. Hey you, the man said aloud. Stop with your rhyming thing. The henchman nodded in unison. It is, what's the word, so cringe. He added, just say what you want to say, but in a normal way. I don't want to hear any more of that. You're testing my patience. I felt like I was going to implode. They actually didn't kill me then. One of the crewmates steps forward. Hey boss, it's about 6:30. 6:30. I was gone for a long time. The big man whispered some words in his ear, then the crew member stepped back. Some words, some looks were exchanged, and I had the feeling it was time. By the way, guys, can I say something? It was silent for a second. The big man grunted. Allah Akbar, he yelled. He drew out his gun and started to get rid of some ammunition. There's only one in the chamber. It's all I gave, like Russian roulette. I goggled hard and my whole body was trembling. I closed my eyes and hoped for the best. He pulled the trigger. I opened my eyes. Well, I'm heading it. There are 5 more rounds. He did it again. Still not there. He did it 3 more times. Still nothing. Which meant this was for sure the bullet. I prayed hard and relaxed my faith. Or at least tried to. Boom. One of the walls exploded and a bunch of lights were shone. My ears were ringing and I could see the men take cover. Multiple shouting. Me, I was doubting. Would I get out of this chaos alive? Red and blue outside. This was the end. Heard them saying, go, go, go. I was just crying, no, no, no. Well, next thing I knew, I was unconscious. I woke up on a hospital bed. The doctor said, Mr. Dickett, you need some rest and to be fed. I shut my eyes and just hoped for the best. Thanks to the doctor, thankful for my life, I am blessed. They didn't need to know the rest. They didn't need to be obsessed. I'll process it all the next day. Closed my eyes, bowed my head down, and started to pray. Okay.
All right.